after last week's general announcement. Today is WWE Raw's return to its home arena in preparation for Backlash 2025. Our man in charge, Adam Pearce, will be back on the red brand to keep things under control on the flagship show. With Stack Night coming up, it looks like he'll have a busy day at the office. Here are 5 announcements that General Manager Adam Pearce could make on Raw Logan. Superstars will advance their feuds on the Go Home episode before the Backlash PLT. After winning at WrestleMania 40, Paul made a statement by defeating AJ Styles, a former world champion. Paul has made his intentions about the World Heavyweight belt that Maverick has been eyeing rather apparent. In a recent confrontation between G Uso and the YouTube sensation, Logan exacted retribution by landing a signature blow on Jay backstage, causing the champion to pass out. This followed an encounter on Raw, in which Uso dropped a superkick on Paul. At the 2025, Pearce may surprise everyone by announcing a championship battle between Logan Paul and Jusso. Crisis responds tonight. McDonald will compete in his first singles match since returning from injury, a one-on-one bout against Panta, during Judgment. McDanick helped Dominic Mysterio retain the Intercontinental Championship on Raw after WrestleMania 41. Day's persistent intervention and use of heel tactics ensure Steele's victory. Following WrestleMania, Penta and JD's match on Raw might have Adam Pearce banning the entire villain stable. It was startling when Roxanne Perez and Juliet attacked IO. During tonight's Raw, Sky and Stephanie Baker are causing an incredible tag team feud. Roxanne Perez is scheduled to face off against Ski in a singles match, but Julia, a former NXT Women's Champion, could interfere, and Ripley could provide a save. At last week's Backlash, Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker brutally assaulted Sami Zayn after the Honorary Youth rejected Rollins' request to join them. Pearce may formally announce a tag team battle in which Io and Rhea would face off against Julia and Roxanne. After tonight's savage assault knocked down the former Intercontinental Champion, security workers stepped in to stop the assault. Since Zayn has joined the alliance, Adam Pearce may declare that he will take a break to recuperate from the injuries he got in last week's assault by Rollins and Breaker. On Raw following Mania, the heel stable of Rollins, Breaker, and Paul Heyman pounced on Roman Reigns and CM Punk. And last week, Sami Zayn found himself in the sights of the 2 general managers. To put a stop to these assaults, Adam Pearce might punish Rollins and Breaker a ton of money or suspend them for knocking out big players. According to sources close to WWE management, General Manager Adam Pearce is allegedly getting ready to enforce the law after a week of complete anarchy and entering rebellion, and tonight's Lou Raw is expected to be a major event. In tonight's show, Pearce will attempt to put things back in order following last week's events, in which 2 top stars started brawls that went beyond the ring and into private production facilities. According to rumors, Pearce has made the decision to hand out suspensions live on television. However, that's not all. On Judgment Day, one of the most dominant factions in recent YouTube history may face an unprecedented ban. Let's start by exploring the chaos that led up to this moment and the 5 bombshell announcements. Tonight on Raw, Pearce could make an appearance. The tension reached a peak last Monday when Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre, who were not even booked in a match together, had a violent confrontation. This brawl started when Messiah interrupted Rollins' backstage promo and accused him of manipulating the crowd and hijacking the show's narrative. As the tensions rose, fists flew, tables crashed, and WWE officials scrambled to contain the situation. Cameras barely captured the brawl as it spilled into the parking lot, with entire shouting, "This isn't your story anymore," before being restrained by security. Several production assistants were injured trying to break up the fight. Rollins reportedly suffered a bruised shoulder, and Entire may have broken a monitor with his bare hands. It has been reported that Pearce was extremely angry backstage and called an emergency meeting with WWE Legal and Talent Relations. Rumor has it that Pearce is planning to suspend Rollins and McIntyre for actions that will hurt the company and put backstage workers in danger. If this happens during tonight's Raw, it will be the first time in almost a decade that 2 former world champions are suspended at the same time for non-sanctioned physical behavior. However, There are other factors at play as well. After Delet's World Cup loss, Rollins publicly criticized the company's leadership. At WrestleMania 41, Entire will defend his heavyweight championship, despite his ongoing vendetta against Cody, Rhodes, and others. Use self-inflicted wounds to regain his lost steam. Is Pearce attempting to use these impending suspensions as a means of resetting the chessboard? Or are they simply a form of punishment? Either way, it might indicate a change in the plot that ultimately leads to a SummerSlam clash between the two titans. Who knows what the future holds for the Judgment Day? But one thing is certain. This group has been nothing short of chaotic. They've taken over main events, interfered in title matches, and attacked superstars and staff. Just last week, Damon Priest and Dominic Mysterio ruined the Raw main event between Gunther and Gusso, leading to a no contest and injuring a referee. As if that wasn't bad enough, the group's leader slammed his headset on the table and proclaimed, "This ends now." Despite the strong symbolic message that a ban may carry, multiple sources within WWE allege that top officials have given Pearce the go-ahead to remove Judgment Day from Raw entirely, if not temporarily. Even the faction that has been acting wildly for more than a year will be subject to the rules once Pearce makes this revelation. The power judgment of Raw will undergo a seismic upheaval. Day's departure would create a huge void in the Finn roster structure. Currently, Ripley Balor is out with an injury. Judgment Day might react shockingly, perhaps even invading SmackDown or NXT. Or Dominic and Priest could be banned from television for a few weeks to refocus the angle, because they have all had substantial sway over Raw's storyline in recent months. One insider has hinted that Pearce's decision won't go down well in the locker room. This could cause other stars to rebel against his authority. After the dust settles, another major topic that Pearce is expected to address is the women's division, specifically the fallout from Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan's controversial Women's World Championship defense. After Liv assaulted her from behind and used a steel chair as a weapon, Pearce may announce a rematch for Night of Champions or suspend Liv Morgan for post-match assault. Fans have largely supported Liv's actions, with many chanting her name during house shows over the weekend. Pearce is reportedly conflicted about whether to discipline Liv or capitalize on the fan support, and officially book a stipulation, scheduled rematch or not. Tonight's Raw might see Becky and Liv square up, setting up the scene for the most talked about feud of the summer. Atop everything else following Braun Breaker's demolition of Sami Zayn in a non-title match on SmackDown, Pearce may announce a massive tournament to choose the next top contender for the Intercontinental Championship. There have been rumblings that Breaker will be promoted to Raw and featured in a title picture. He is eager to inject new energy into the brand and could utilize tonight's show to introduce a new tournament with rising stars such as Ilja Dragunov, Ricochet, Chad Gable, and maybe even Shinsuke Nakamura making a comeback. The current Intercontinental Championship, held by Sami Zayn, has the potential to become Raw's most fiercely contested trophy if Pearce follows through with this plan, diverting attention away from the disciplinary headlines and back to the in-ring product. Last, but not least, a returning legend with a wealth of stories can make an unexpected public appearance. With Pearce at the epicenter of all the action and lines in a constant state of movement, tonight could be the ideal time to reunite with someone. For example, Edge is supposedly in talks for a comeback, while Randy Orton has been hinting at a return and was seen around WWE last week. Tonight's WWE Raw is shaping up to be a gamaker, with the power to shake the foundation of the red brand held by Adam Pearce. His decisions will echo throughout the show, and Pearce may call upon a veteran enforcer to help maintain control of Raw if Judgment Day is truly banned. The locker room could use some leadership, and a returning legend could provide it. Everything can happen in the wrestling industry when factions face penalties. Championships are at stake, and legacy icons are on the outside looking in. Something is definitely fans of WWE best buckle up, because Pearce is no longer an observer. He is stepping up to the plate. After this evening, everything will change. So watch to find out what. In this episode of WWE Raw, Adam Pearce lays out the rules for who will be punished and who will emerge victorious from the mayhem. Thank you for watching the video. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more updates.